So, guys, New York Governor Kathy Hochul came out really saying some funny stuff, and it's really interesting to watch. She's literally crying that the Republicans and other people, not only Republicans, the billionaires that left New York to other states like Texas, to other states like Florida, she's literally crying for them to come back. And it's so hilarious to watch. It's hilarious to watch because just a few years ago, this same governor was lashing out at Republicans and saying if they want to go to Texas, they should get out. They should, she was literally insulting them. But just 4 years down the line, these billionaires have moved out of New York, and the revenue of New York is falling like a sack of potatoes, and she wants them back. It's so funny. It's so hypocritical, and it's so funny because the Democrats keep talking about taxes, tax the rich, tax the rich, tax the rich, but nobody wants to get taxed arbitrarily. Nobody wants to get taxed out of business. It's not practical. It's not practical. So let's get into the video. You just watch the video and see the hypocrisy of the New York governor. It's so hilarious to watch.
And we're here to say the era of Trump and Zeldin and Molinaro, just jump on a bus and head down to Florida where you belong, okay? Get out of town. Get out of town. Because you don't represent our values. You are not New Yorkers.
But maybe the first step should be go down to Palm Beach and see who you can bring, because our...
Can you imagine that? That's four years ago. 4 years ago, she was talking smack, talking crap, insulting the billionaires, insulting Trump, insulting the Republicans, telling them to get out of her state. And it's hilarious because, come to think of it, Trump is the actual, typical, original New Yorker. When people like Trump started building New York, Hochul was not even in the picture. Someone like Hochul has never contributed to New York. She's just a politician spending states' money, spending taxpayers' money. So it's so funny when you see her talking smack. But that's the reality. That's the irony of what is going on. So let's listen to her now. Now that things have changed, let's listen to her talk.
Our tax base has been eroded. So I philosophically don't have a problem. It is like I have to look at the fact that we are in competition with other states who have less of a tax burden on their corporations and their individuals. And I would say remote work changed everything. There were people who could only work in Manhattan and work in New York State, and they were captives to our state. They were going to stay. We saw that that's not the case. I mean, Wall Street, businesses looking at Texas, they're not going there because they have a nicer governor. I know that for sure. But they're going there because of the tax rate. We are smart about this.
No, here's the irony in our statement. She said they're not going to Texas because they have a nicer governor. They're going there because of the tax rate. No, they have a better tax rate because they have a nicer governor. That's the irony of our argument. You say, oh, no, they're not going there because of the tax rate. So they're not going there because of the governor. The governor is not nicer than me. But they're going there because of the tax rate. The tax rate is better than ours. Yes, the tax rate is better than the tax rate of New York because the governor is nicer than you. That's the implication. That is the implication. And so the problem with these Democrats, politicians, and people like Kathy Hochul is that they do not really contribute much to society. They only know how to spend and spend and spend taxpayers' money because they don't even know how to produce money. They don't know how to produce wealth. If you're somebody that's ever run a corporation, somebody that's ever run a business, a credible business, a real business, you don't just spend money anyhow because you understand the value of money. People like her don't understand the value of money. They just go there and spend it because they don't know how to produce it. They don't know the value of it. They're like spoiled kids. So you give money to them, they just go and buy candy. That's how they think of taxpayers' money. They think of it as shopping money to just spend around. And now that the reality is coming back to bite them, she's here begging. And it's hilarious to watch. It's hilarious to see the hypocrisy. She's shameless. In my opinion, she's very shameless. And people like The mayor of New York, Mandami, is going around still talking about insulting billionaires. He doesn't know what's coming for him. He thinks he's going to insult people and still have their money to spend. He's a clown. You know, it's so interesting to watch all this unfold, and you know, it's just the beginning, and this is already happening. But that's what it is. These guys are a bunch of incompetent people, and it's hilarious to watch. So thank you for watching this video. Please like and share, you know, the channel, like and share and subscribe, and God bless.